Eerie Narratives presents The Shadow of Willow Creek. The rain hammered the bus windows like angry fingers tapping on a coffin lid. Ethan tightened his arm around Rachel as the Greyhound hissed to a stop at the edge of Willow Creek, a forgotten speck on the map in rural West Virginia. No one got off except them, and no one was waiting, or so they thought. A lone figure stepped forward under the flickering streetlight. Rachel? Ethan? A warm but nervous smile.
I'm Sarah.
Come on, we need to move. Staying visible too long here isn't smart. That was the moment everything changed. 3 days earlier, Rachel had stood in her parents' sleek suburban McMansion in Maryland, tears streaming down her face while Ethan stood silently beside her. You think we're letting our daughter marry some nobody? Her father had snarled. We ran a background check. Your mother was a stripper who dumped you in the system. You don't even know who your real father is. You will never be part of this family. The words still burned. That same night, Ethan showed up at Rachel's window with a duffel bag. She climbed out without looking back. Sarah, Rachel's online friend who'd become their only lifeline, had offered them her family's long-abandoned house in Willow Creek. It's off the grid. No one will find you there, she'd promised. Now, as their beat-up local bus rumbled through misty hills toward the old house, Rachel stared out the window, silently crying. Ethan gently touched her shoulder. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I ruined your life. You didn't ruin anything, he said, pulling her close. This was our choice. I've survived worse than angry parents. The house was exactly as Sarah described, old, dusty Victorian sitting at the end of a long gravel drive, surrounded by thick woods, paint peeled like dead skin. Inside smelled of mildew and forgotten years. It's safe here, Sarah said, handing them the keys. Clean it up. Stay low, and whatever you do, don't go out after dark, especially not near the big oak by the old church. I'll be gone for a few days. Call if you need anything. She left quickly, almost too quickly. The next morning, Ethan and Rachel got to work. They scrubbed floors, hauled out old furniture, and slowly turned the decaying house into something livable. Exhausted but proud, they took a selfie in their newly cleaned living room. That's when Ethan froze. On a dusty shelf behind them sat a small silver trophy, an award for Outstanding Female Dancer, 2004 Regional Showcase. The base was cracked exactly where he remembered dropping it as a 5-year-old boy. This was my mom's, he whispered. Rachel turned pale. Ethan, you've never been to West Virginia in your life. He flipped the trophy over. The faded shop sticker on the bottom still had the address. Miller's Awards, 12 miles from Willow Creek. That evening, Ethan drove the old truck they'd found in the garage to the trophy shop. The owner, an elderly man, flipped through an ancient ledger. Yeah, bought it right here. Some local dropped it off years ago. Said it belonged to a woman who didn't need it anymore. Ethan left more confused than ever. On his way back, he saw flashing lights near the massive oak tree at the edge of town. A crowd had gathered. A man lay dead beneath the branches, throat wrapped in an old radio cord, empty whiskey bottle beside him. What happened? Ethan asked a local. The man gave him a long, cold stare and walked away without a word. Back at the house, Sarah had returned and was talking quietly with Rachel. Another one, Sarah was saying. That's the third this month. What the hell is going on in this town? Ethan demanded. Sarah looked at him carefully. Her name was Eleanor Graves. 21 years ago, she came here with her husband, running from trouble. Beautiful dancer, real free spirit. His family found them, dragged him back. He died a week later. Accident, they said. Eleanor decided to leave town. The night she was supposed to go, a group of drunk locals caught her alone. They took turns. Sarah's voice dropped. Next morning, they found her hanging from that oak tree. There was a note. Said she'd make sure no man who hurt women would ever leave this town alive again. They call her the widow of Willow Creek. After 9 o'clock, no one goes near that tree. Those who do, don't come back. Ethan's face had gone ghostly white. Her name wasn't Eleanor Graves, he said, voice cracking. It was Elena Grant, my mother. The truth spilled out like blood from an old wound. Elena had left 5-year-old Ethan with a neighbor for just a few days while she got settled somewhere safe. She never came back. He grew up believing she'd abandoned him. Rachel and Sarah stared in horror. The knocking started at 2 a.m. Violent, desperate pounding on the front door. Before they could react, the door exploded inward. Rachel's parents stormed in with 2 hired men. "You stupid girl," her father roared, grabbing Rachel's arm. "We're taking you home. This ends tonight." They dragged her out into the night. Ethan fought but was knocked unconscious. When he woke, he heard the car engine roaring down the dark road toward the county line. Then came the scream of twisting metal. The car sat crumpled against the massive oak tree. Rachel was unconscious in the back seat. Her parents staggered out, bleeding. A figure materialized in the headlights. Pale woman in a torn white dress, long dark hair covering half her face, eyes burning with 21 years of rage. "You took everything from me?" the widow whispered, her voice echoing like wind through graves. "Now I'll take everything from you." She raised her hand. Rachel's parents lifted off the ground, choking, feet dangling. "Mom!" Ethan screamed, running toward them. "Stop!" The ghost turned. The rage in her eyes melted into something human, something maternal, when she saw his face. "Ethan, my baby." Tears streamed down his cheeks. "Why did you leave me?" "I never left you," she said softly. "I was trying to make a safe home for us. I was coming back for you, but they took that chance away." She looked at Rachel's terrified parents, still suspended in the air. "Please, Mom," Ethan begged. "Don't do this. I love her. I want a life without more pain. Let them go. I'll handle this my way." For the first time in 21 years, the widow of Willow Creek smiled. She lowered her hand. Rachel's parents collapsed, gasping. "I'm sorry," her father whispered, voice broken. "We were wrong. We'll accept the marriage. Just, please." A column of soft golden light appeared between the trees. Elena looked at her son one last time with pure love. "Take care of each other," she whispered. The light swallowed her. She was finally free. 1 month later, under a perfect blue sky, Ethan and Rachel got married in a small garden ceremony. Rachel's parents sat in the front row, humbled and quiet. Sarah stood off to the side, smiling and waving. As the newlyweds kissed, Sarah turned, checking to make sure no one was watching. Then she simply vanished. Some shadows never truly leave. They just learn to watch over the ones they love. What did you think of The Shadow of Willow Creek? Drop your scariest small-town story in the comments. If you want more real horror, love stories with ghosts, and twists that'll keep you up at night, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Welcome to Eerie Narratives, where the past never stays buried. See you in the next story, if you dare.